Thank you for staying with us. The Montana High School basketball playoffs come once a year. It's an annual tradition that reminds us of all the legendary moments, legendary players. One of those, without a doubt, is the King, Elvis Old Bull, who, as SWX's Chris Byers shows us, was one of the best the state has ever seen.
Age is defined by a number. It tells us how old we are, but not who we are. Nearly 40 years ago, it was a number that defined everything about a basketball player from the Crow Nation. The number was 52. The man that wore it was Elvis Old Bull.
Wherever you go, whether it be in high school, independence, anywhere you go, even non-Indians know the name Elvis Old Bull.
He was arguably the greatest Native American to ever play the game in Montana. From 1988 to 1990, the Lodgegrass Indians won 3 consecutive State Class B titles. Elvis Old Bull was the State Class B MVP all 3 years. In 1990, he was named the Montana Gatorade Player of the Year, won McDonald's All-American honors, and was named to the all-time list of greatest athletes in Montana history by Sports Illustrated.
When Elvis was playing, well, he'd score 36, just with no problem at all. He had a lot of assists. He was a rebounder. He defended well. And he was a kind of an all-around player for me.
The number 52. His jersey retired by Lodgegrass after a tragic car accident claimed his life in September 2014. Gone but never forgotten, 4 years ago in Lodgegrass, Crow Nation honored Elvis in a game between Lodgegrass and Hardin. His family was there, banners were hung, stories were told. Son Elvis Jr. was the next player to wear the number 52. As he explained it, a chance to honor his father.
That meant a lot to me because the number at that point had been retired some maybe 12 years, and I was the first person to be able to use my dad's number. It just meant a lot to me because no one else was able to use it, and it was hanging in the rafters here for a while.
It's been 34 years since Elvis Old Bull electrified crowds across the state with his play. When Lodgegrass came to town, a seat nearly impossible to get. He had that kind of impact, not only to Crow Nation, but to basketball fans across the state. And as it turns out, the number 52 lives on.
All right, thank you, Chris. And yeah, all around the state, programs have what they call legacy numbers. They honor particular players that left a lasting impact on their school and their team. It's been over 30 years since Elvis Old Bull dazzled crowds, but the number 52 and his legacy lives on in the next generation.
I think football. Like, that's just such a football number.
52. Not a number you see every day in the game of basketball. When it's worn in the state, many remember the Lodgegrass legend. The jersey was special ordered for Elvis's daughter, Coral, now a junior at Billings Central. When she dons the number 52, the Old Bull legend grows.
It's just like the legacy moves on in more than one place, and it just lives on everywhere. Like, it's on the reservation especially, but it's nice coming to light, especially at Central, because like I don't think a lot of my teammates would have known who my dad was had we not made like that point to it. So it's nice sharing his story in like a number.
And that number is still seen on the Crow Reservation. Hardin's Kingston Hugs, Elvis's grandson, wears the legacy number for the Bulldogs.
Well, it gives me a little bit more confidence, but I started wearing it, I think it was 6th or 7th grade, and I just kept it ever since then. Growing up with him, the numbers always meant a lot to me.
And you better believe players today from the Crow Reservation are very aware of what Elvis used to do on the court.
Yeah, I watched a lot of state championship games. The ones I watched those all the time. Just watching how he plays, studying how he plays.
Before Kingston chose the orange and black 52, famous left hand, now playing for MSU Billings, honored Old Bull with the number at Hardin. He starred in that game against Lodgegrass on Elvis Old Bull night and remembers his family friend and mentor.
We just I grew up around him all the time, so I mean that's where I took in part of how he mentored me and stuff.
Coral, Kingston, famous. They're some of the top players in the state and young leaders in their communities. Together, they're contributing to the legend of Elvis Old Bull, keeping number 52 alive on the court.
The way that my dad played, when he explained it to me, his basketball was his release. He didn't have a good home life, and I think like people knowing that story and seeing it, like he used it in a positive way and towards like his basketball, and I think that seeing that number and like all of that effects of it is why it's so sentimental.
Old Bull's legacy goes beyond basketball. It's more than a number. The jersey represents a message of positivity, passion, and joy that rings true today.